G'day, my name is Dainsy, and in this video I'm not just taking on one challenge, I'm taking on 2 challenges, and honestly there is going to be a whole heap of other challenges, and well, I've truly signed myself up for a little bit of chaos, if I'm going to be completely honest. Get yourself a Dave Kelly. The bloke is out of control. Now, I'll talk about the second challenge soon, but first up, let's kick things off with the big one. It's the Scrapwood BuildOff, run by Sam over at Gumtree Hill Woodworks, representing the Aussie chapter of the Turgworks, Scrapwood BuildOff in the UK. And as you can see right here, my Scrapwood delivery came from none other than Dave Kelly, Ned's Woodwork. And once again, he came through with the goods, massive pine boxes. I have already used some of this Scrapwood on my prior project, which was soundproofing the CNC. I used up a lot of the thinner stuff back then, but what is left now is these absolute beasts of pine planks. They're about 2.7 meters long, they're an inch thick and roughly 200 millimeters wide. And yes, I mix millimeters and inches together because it keeps everybody happy. Now there is one other crucial piece of scrapwood timber that I need to disclose, and that is this old form ply pallet wood bed that I built a few years ago. The bed is now retired, so this timber is fair game, official scrapwood material. And I'm going big with this project, probably more ambitious than I should be. It's going to chew through a heap of timber, so I already know this probably won't be enough. My plan, go through the entire shed and use anything I can. No more saving the good stuff for later. If it is in here and it is wood, it's going in the project. Which is actually good for me. This project is part of a bigger mission to thin out the shed and finally use up all those bits I've been hoarding for years. Alright, time to clean up the timber and start feeding the pieces into the CNC. The CNC is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on this one, so my plan is to keep it running while I juggle all sorts of other jobs around the shed. Because here's the thing, I thought I had heaps of time, but it turns out I don't. I've overcommitted to a couple of sponsors, and what I thought were months of buffer time have evaporated before my eyes, and I'm running out of time fast. And I'll be honest, that might mean that this project doesn't end up actually being finished by the end of this video. So, a bit of a spoiler there. Sorry about that, but there is a good reason, and I'll explain later. So the second challenge I'm doubling up on is the Fix It Fingers Chapo Challenge 25, run by James. Now the gist of James's challenge is simple. It is to just get restarted. 25. Get back into the shed, pick up the tools, make something you've been putting off, especially for those of us YouTubers who might have drifted away from the content grind. It's about reigniting that spark, and that really resonated with me. It's not about chasing perfection of views, it's about making something for you. Taking the time to create something cool that makes you feel good on the inside. That wasn't a part of the official challenge, but that's what it means to me. So my Fix It Fingers project is to give my outfeed table a complete facelift and tackle what's probably one of my biggest challenges yet, the disaster that is my shed storage. Receptacles. There is literally things, receptacles, boxes, cupboards, storage, like everywhere, and it is all an absolute mess. Over the last 8 years, I've collected mountains of containers, random receptacles, laser cut things, most of which are all just sitting around doing nothing. The place has turned into a bit of a disaster zone, let's call it. But the funny thing is, I don't actually have that much stuff that needs storing. So I'm redesigning this whole outfeed area into something useful, practical and central. The goal is when I'm looking for something, I can actually find it. One of the biggest changes for me lately is switching from SketchUp to Shaper 3D. Since I've been dabbling more in 3D printing, Shaper 3D just makes more sense. It's all in one, super intuitive and perfect both for furniture design and 3D modeling. I can go straight from design to the CNC without all the fluffing around, and I absolutely love it. You'll definitely be seeing more of that soon. And the beauty of digital design is the precision. And let's just say precision has not been my strong suit over the years. But with 3D CAD and CNC, I can finally get things bang on I've designed the furniture, extracted the parts, sent them to the CNC. Now all I've got to do is glue all the parts together. And one thing I can do is join pieces of wood to other pieces of wood. Even though I had the big pine planks, I still needed more material, so I pulled down some old blackwood cupboard doors that have been sitting around doing absolutely nothing other than collecting dust and holding up other timber on top of them. I cut them up, laminated scraps together, stacked everything up, and at first I thought, yeah, I have got heaps of material. Nope, definitely do not have heaps of material. I am way short. So began the hunt for more stock. I'm not going looking for pallets. I don't have time. Dave Kelly's off swanning around the Gold Coast having a fat old time. Here's me in the humidity, working. That's all I have to say about that. I did find this old couple of pieces of a dining table with about nearly inch thick material. It was quite bowed. I just ripped it down the middle, flattened it off into the CNC, cut out some more parts, and that just gave me that little bit of extra length. So I've only got 2 layers left, and I'm actually a fair bit short, and there's not much scrap wood left in this shed. Like, just need a bit more. Just need a bit more. Just about got the depth that I want from this cabinet. I completely ballsed up the amount of material, and I was very short on material. I think when I was working it out, I had pieces stacked together. I don't know why I did this, but I must have had pairs stacked together, thinking, I don't know, I was well short. Let's not go there. That's about what I need now. I'll get a little bit more when I put on the 2 pieces of capping, which seals off the flavors. But the good thing is now I can get this off the bench. I can clean it up. I can get it over here, and then I get my table saw back, or I can put it on the bench over there. Doesn't matter. The hard part's done. I can now work on the cabinetry, cleaning it up, making it look flash. Whether I get everything I want to get done for this video, I'm under a fair bit of time pump. I might not get it all done. I'll finish it over Christmas. That's the plan. Make promises, don't deliver. So here's the plan. I'm building a pretty groovy outfeed table, but I'm focusing on just the top 300 mils of this area right now. That's the drawer section. Up until now, that space has been a complete mess. If you've got OCD, you probably want to look away now. Once the digital design was done and the CNC finished spitting out all the parts, it was time to assemble. I printed a few 3D alignment jigs to help with the glue up, and even designed in dowel holes for accuracy. But in true Dainsy fashion, I opted not to use those. In hindsight, yes, I probably should have. Things did shift a little bit, not enough to notice by eye, but definitely noticed when it came time to cleaning off all of the cabinet. There was a couple of up and downy parts, but luckily there is nothing a belt sander can't fix. Let me take a quick pause to talk about the sponsor of this video, and again, it is Bamboo Lab. And today I want to show off the Bamboo Lab H2S. The first thing you'll notice about this is the build volume. It is 340 by 320 by 340 millimeters. That's massive. And I have a cool project to push that build plate to the limit. I can print large projects in one single piece, no seams, no weak joints, just one solid part straight off the plate. Saying that, my project is so big, it will be in parts and it will have seams, but that's okay. And even though this machine is bigger, it is stupidly fast with up to 1000 millimeters per second tool head speed. I'm saving huge amounts of print time without losing a single bit of accuracy, and the detail on this thing is insane. Every tiny texture comes out razor sharp, edge to edge. But here's what I love the most. It is easy. You don't have to be a 3D printing nerd to get perfect results. You just load your file, hit print, and watch it go. Big prints, fast speeds, perfect accuracy, all without the usual hassle. This art piece has 10 components, and most of these are about 16 to 17 hour prints each. I ran this machine non-stop and it has not skipped a beat. It is unbelievable, to be completely honest. If you ever thought about getting a 3D printer with the Bamboo Lab H2S, and the S does stand for single, as in single print head. But for me, the S stands for simple, and that's why it is the machine for me. If you'd like to check out the Bamboo Lab H2S, there is a link down below. Thank you very much, Bamboo Lab, for again sponsoring this video. Right, I'll be getting back into the main project very soon. However, I do have this project within a project that I really want to show you. I have been creating this piece of wall art, and you'll notice it is a large hexagon, which is the size of the internal hexagons in my dome extension. I wanted something that is a salute to my childhood. I have pretty much found every character from the 80s, cartoons, movies, toys, and icons that were all part of my younger years, and probably most of you, and I've slapped them together in this 3D printed collage of nostalgia. It is the kind of piece of art that you stand in front of and you look for things. And the more the look, the more you find, and the more youthful memories might get triggered for the person looking at it. It is a talking point, a place to gather and have a bit of a chat. But most importantly, it is something for me, and it really does go along with James's Chapo Challenge criteria quite well. For me, the shed is a nice place to hang out and unwind and do creative things. So it is important to me to surround myself with a few of those creative things. Again, because time is not on my side, I'll get this wall art assembled into its 3D printed grey puzzle form, but I am not quite done with it yet. I'm still on the fence at this stage whether I want to try and hide the seams. What I do know is I probably want to paint it a bronze colour so it is more sculpture-like, and this is something I actually did back in high school with real toys. And when you paint it all the same colour, it looks really cool. This art piece originally started with a plan to do a Bill and Ted's Star Wars crossover and have Bill and Ted frozen in carbonite just like Han Solo. I did not quite figure that out, and somehow I landed on this idea. I do have a very special thanks to go out to Anthony from Barbers, Paddock Woodworking. He completely saved me on this project. As I finished the digital design of this, on export, the file size was well over a gigabyte, and it created a whole heap of problems, not to mention how I actually made the 3D model. Anywho, long story short, Anthony rescued me, dropped everything he was doing, sorted me out so that the software could actually slice things up. I could chop it into its pieces and then I could print it out. So the loose plan from here is to eventually start to fill a few more of those hexagons with some sort of art or whatever, but that is a future Dainsy problem. Okay, back to the woodwork and a little bit more 3D printing. With the main curvy cabinet mostly assembled, I moved onto the storage section, and I'm going to make 6 drawers. What could possibly go wrong? Well, that's the plan anyway. But because of the massive time situation I'm under, I'm only going to make 2 drawers. The other 4 drawers are going to have to wait. But saying that, I really want to make this area stand out. I want to make something pretty cool, something visually fun, something that's never been done before. Just don't Google it and prove me wrong, please. So here's my crazy idea. I want to put drawers on the drawer fronts. Drawers with drawers. So you push on the drawers, it'll open the drawers. Seriously, if this has been done before, I would like to see it, because I just would like to see it. I've been 3D printing these tiny cargo containers that I found online. They are perfect for small part storage. The design is beautiful and the creator behind it is super inspiring. I'll link in below if you want to go and check out the whole process via YouTube Shorts. It's really cool. My plan is to mount these mini drawers directly onto the main drawer fronts, creating double layered drawers. It'll be perfect for the small parts that usually get lost inside the deeper drawer. And then over time, I'll build the rest of the drawers, and I'll keep 3D printing more of these cargo containers, and I'll work my way across the entire outfeed table. It is functional, it'll be fun, a little bit ridiculous, and there'll be heaps of magenta. I am starting to rush through this, which is kind of a shame because this whole project was about slowing down, getting back into the shop. But the principle is the same. It's still doing something for me. I have made a few errors on the exact height to cut the ply. Not a big deal. These are doing their job. So nothing a bit of putty can't hide. I'll tell you what is cool about CNCs. Now, there is no way that I would get these drawers exactly the same spaces apart. I've made drawers before with 3 drawers or more. Never the same, ever. These ones are exactly 470 mils each. And that is the beauty of the CNC. It helps people like me. Now, if you've been following along my woodworking journey for the past 8 years, you'll know that drawers and I, well, we do not get along. I hate drawers and drawers hate me. It is a mutual understanding and I'm okay with that. But this time I thought it would be different. The CNC cuts everything perfectly square. Everything is precise. Everything is exactly the same. Everything should fit beautifully. First time. First drawer, bang on. Perfect. Happy days. Second drawer, same dimension, same cuts, all made at the same time. Same width, same depth, same height. Height, not a word, not important, irrelevant. And the second drawer jams. Doesn't even close. And I don't know why. I hate drawers. I spent hours, literally hours, trying to figure out one drawer. I actually got quite frustrated and I probably destroyed the drawer runners in the process and I ended up replacing them. The final result is the bottom drawer, it does push to open just enough so I can grab the drawer and pull it out the rest of the way. It'll do for now. Hopefully the rest get better as we go. So I do still have 4 drawers to make. Each one will have its own bit of drama, but I'll be taking my time from here on out. Probably work on them slowly over the Christmas period when things calm down a little bit. Because that's really what this challenge was meant to be about. Slowing down, enjoying the process, making for the right reasons. And while I have enjoyed this project, rushing it definitely caused a few hiccups along the way. Still, it is a shed project, so I can get away with a few Dainer made isms. So the final ball's up. Because only one side has the form ply on it, it was a 50-50 whether, and I only just thought of this when I discovered it now, it was a 50-50 that they were going to be the right pieces. Now, I've got enough pieces to finish the job, but as it stands, these pieces match the outer layer. So the short piece, I have a short piece, and it doesn't matter which way you go because they're all cut in the same orientation, and I just happen to finish on that one. I've lucked out. So, I mean, to cut all these pieces, it actually used up 800 by 800 millimeters of ply, and I'm not going to redo that. That's crazy talk. If someone visits the shed with super OCD, they might notice that these outer capping pieces align with the very next piece. Let's just hope that that beautiful little detail distracts them just enough that they won't say anything. The rules don't actually say, but I'm sure that the Scrapwood BuildOff requires you to actually finish the project. So I may be disqualified. Let's just put that out there early. But let's just call it art and say it's done. Despite all that, I hope I've shown you enough in this video to give you some ideas, maybe inspired you to get back out in the shed, use up some scrap and just make something because it's fun. I'm not disappointed that it's unfinished because I will finish it. I've now got a good plan for better storage and that is a win in my book. Right, for now, I'm going to throw on some finish just so you can see how amazing all this scrap wood actually looks once it's all glued together, cleaned up and sanded off nicely. I'm pretty stoked. Right, from here, I do have one more video to actually get out very quickly, like in the next week or two. Over commitment. Anyway, that one's going to be a full shed tour of everything that's been going on lately. We might just go back in time a little bit. I don't know. I haven't made it yet. So hopefully you'll follow me along on that one. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, because then you'll get notified that that video is ready to go. Okay, that's about it for now. Thanks to Sam and Jane for running their challenges. They pretty much spoon-fed me the idea to do this. And the timing of all that actually worked out pretty good in the end, to be fair. Okay, catch you later.